Good morning, gang. Happy Wednesday. Okay, so if y'all caught Potato Joe's speech yesterday, talking about the jab and all this sort of stuff, he made a very interesting comment that kind of piqued a lot of people's eyes. And as he issued this warning, he says, the unvaccinated will end up paying the price. Now, very ambiguous in what he's going to say. And there's a couple of different ways to look at it. All right, now, first off, we have announced, or Biden's announced, that he's going to donate, something like 200,000 shots to other countries in the world. And I love how he's going to do this, right? It's not Joe Biden donating it. It's either Pfizer or AstraZeneca or Moderna, or you and me, the taxpayers, who's paying for this. It ain't Joe, okay? Joe's just blessed us with it, okay? So there's that issue. So how we're paying for it, that's one way of looking at it. Joe donating it, our tax dollars, again, because, we don't have any problems here in the United States that we could possibly pay for. We need to be donating money again to everybody else. I mean, just like we just donated, $637 million to Chile right after they elected a communist government. So, okay. Great idea. Now, you could look at it as the way it's casually intended, where, the unvaccinated will end up paying the price because, we're going to be the ones that are going to eventually get COVID or whatever it would be. Okay, bullshit. Okay, yes, that's what they're trying to talk about, is we're going to pay the price. But mind you, Joe comes out and says, I'm expecting 70% of the U.S. population to be vaccinated by the 4th of July. Okay, 4th of July is what, 7 weeks from now, 6 weeks from now, somewhere thereabouts. We're at 30% right now, okay, that have had both shots. So we've got to more than double what we've already done. Joe, I hate to tell you this, most of those 70% don't want the shots. You've got about 60% of the population that's had one shot and said, hell no, I'm not getting a second one because I got the side effects from the first one. So good luck with that. But, so if we're talking about going to pay the price for not getting the jab, okay, I will bet there are a ton of us out there who haven't got the jab, who did get COVID. We just don't know it. We were asymptomatic, okay? I don't know. I might have had it for all I know. Never felt sick, never nothing. But I'm not going to go. I've got an immune system, guys, and it works pretty good, so for me, no. So I'm one that you can certainly count on that ain't going to be in Joe's 70%. Okay. But this is what I think, okay? Actually talking about. And again, Joe couldn't write he couldn't read, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. He's not smart enough to read that sentence, so let alone write it, okay? But his speechwriters, not exactly the sharpest tool in the box either, all right? Because I want to go back. If anybody remembers the job Joe had before he became the potato-in-chief, okay, he was the vice potato-in-chief, under the worst president in U.S. history, though Joe's doing a good job trying to take that spot. Remember that great accomplishment that most of us would call the biggest debacle in U.S. political history? Obamacare? Remember what they did for those who didn't get insurance? Oh, yeah. You had a penalty you had to pay. That's the price I see happening. Now, mind you this. Every year, Congress in December has to put Band-Aids on U.S. tax law, okay? They never get AMT fixed. There's always things they need to change, whatever it would be, so they put all the Band-Aids on. What do you want to bet that come December, for the 2021 tax forms that we all have to file next year, there's going to be a Vax tax? For all those that didn't get the vax, you have to pay a tax. Now, it's the only tool that the government really has to fight the people, okay? And it's the same tool that we've all talked about, the people, as to how to fight back against some of these corporations. Vote with your wallet, okay? You don't like the fact that Coke wanted to, what was it, had their training, to be less white. So you voted with your dollars and you said, okay, I'm going to buy Pepsi from now on. Well, that's the same thing that Uncle Sam does. They're going to penalize you. How can they penalize you? They can add a tax. And that is what I think the price is going to be that Joe is talking about. Okay. Haven't heard that anywhere, but it all fits the narrative too well. Obamacare, medical, Vax, medical. The government wants you to do something. In both cases, you don't do it, we're going to charge you for not doing it. Gee, we tried this once before and it worked pretty well. Let's do it again. Now, if you remember the problem with that, even after Chief Justice Roberts said, Obamacare was a tax, okay, that gave the IRS authorization to do this. What the IRS didn't have authorization to do was to collect it. All right, and this is the little thing that not many people knew about Obamacare, but I can see the same thing happen here. If you were owed a refund from the IRS and didn't have insurance, the IRS would withhold that refund from you. Let's say it was a $20 penalty. They would withhold $20 from your refund, and therefore you paid the penalty. If you owed money and didn't pay the penalty part of the tax, the IRS had no way to collect it. So, what did most people do? They adjusted all their withholding on their paycheck to make sure that they owed a little bit of money at the end of the year so they didn't get a tax refund, including me, okay? And therefore, there was no Obamacare tax. So my guess is that's where Joe is saying that we're going to pay the price. If it's not, we're paying to send all these jabs overseas. Somehow it's going to be the penalty that we all have to pay. I know nobody else has talked about that, but it's something that crossed my mind that they've already done once, and with some success. Why wouldn't they do it again? After all, it was an administration that Biden was part of in the first place, and God knows, we know he hasn't had an original idea run through his head in probably 30 years. So, why not do something that's already been tried once? Just a thought, but that's what I see on the end up paying the price side of things. Have a good Wednesday, y'all. Pinball out.